Being approached about this movie was a unique experience. I was filming Reacher, and I got a call from my team that Guy Ritchie had a film, and he wanted me to take a look at the script. So I read it over a weekend, and was, this is the kind of movie I think actors dream about doing, and of course working with Guy, it's anybody would say yes. So I'm reading the script, going, I don't know. There was no character attached to it. They just wanted me to read it, and I loved it. I was riveted by the story, and I also couldn't really, get a gauge of like who they were interested, because it could go either way. There was one character that was written like he was huge. There was another character that I was very interested in because he's kind of he's the character I'm playing now, but he was a badass, and so I was like, I told my team I loved the script, and Guy wanted to jump on a Zoom. So I get on a Zoom with Guy, and usually, there's like a few minutes of chit chat and you get to know each other. And then it's like, okay, so let's talk about this character. Let's talk about this movie. What do you see? What do I see? Is our vision aligned? And there was none of that. He was like, you look like a barbecue, kind of. You love barbecues. You want to have a barbecue with me? And I was like, sure, I'd love to have a barbecue with you, Guy, anytime. He was like, do you want to do the movie? I was like, sure, I'd love to do the movie if you would like for me to do the movie. He was like, great, let's do the movie. I was like, okay. So I called my team and I was like, I think I just got the offer for the movie. I don't know if that was sincere. It seems too easy. But that was it. And then we did a deal for the movie, and then I'm playing Anna's lesson. Henry is the first one there, last to leave, always knows his stuff, is always positive, here to help make the movie the best movie it can be. And he leads by example. I'm so impressed. I've got a show where I'm number one, and I understand the pressure that is, the responsibility that is, and how people look to you and then decide what kind of movie are we making based on, what number one's approach is. I'm so impressed by who he is, seeing firsthand how he operates. So I've really enjoyed working with him so far. Working with Guy Ritchie is unlike any experience I've ever had, and it's simultaneously the scariest and most exhilarating creative endeavor I've been a part of. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I realized right away Guy's process is this very exciting, organic, let's make sure that we've reimagined the best of what this could be, and if it's similar to what's on the page, great, and if not, even better. So it really puts you on your heels as an actor, especially when you're playing a character like so foreign to you. But then you realize tonally, this film is something totally different to Guy, which is why he's so good at what he does. He can put a stylized, personalized fingerprint on something that's just so him. And that's what he did. For us, just right out of the gate, there was sort of a cool factor to everything these characters did, a pace and a rhythm that was very offbeat. If you think you're coming in as like, traditional army, you're running towards the front of the battlefield, like it was anything but that. There was a casual, nonchalant nature to the way these characters moved, and it made it funny. It was great to be out at sea, and I was pulling up to the ship one day with Henry Cavill, and I looked at him and I was like, this doesn't happen. Only movies like this bring you to places like this, where we look behind us, we've got the mountains of Turkey, these beautiful azure waters, and this old pirate ship that we're pulling up to. I was like, this TV doesn't give you this. Very few jobs do. I said, this is like a dream, and he was like, agreed. It's just so cool to be a part of something like this. This cast, the main cast that I work with, Cavill, Pettifer, Golding, and Hero, we've got a group of varying degrees of experience and age, and a bright demographic. It's the kind of cast you dream about working with in like an ensemble piece like this. But it's when you get to know them as people, this is an egoless bunch who have all figured out a way to craft really distinct, unique voices for their characters, and it's so fun to watch everybody work. There's kind of a mutual love affair. Everybody looks at everybody else's character and they're like, "Oh, that's so good. It's so funny. Oh, you're the best character in this." And I was like, "No, you're the best. I watch you." And I'm like, "This is amazing. I can't wait." And everybody, I think, just can't wait to see everybody else on screen, and that's definitely how I feel. And I think when you get that kind of chemistry, the audience wins. The Fernando Poe mission is a story of the underdogs triumphing with the most impossible circumstances. If you study the history of these characters, the journals, the diaries, the paperwork that they had to fill out at the end of each mission to explain, there's a really solid picture about what these guys went through, and they were always the underdogs. I mean, they never had the tools they needed. It would be so much easier to air raid that port and just decimate these ships and the areas where the Nazis had the turrets, guarding. I mean, there were tools at the disposal of the Allied forces, but again, it was so politically precarious that you couldn't use those tools. So to have a group of guys who have to go in without the tools they need, nothing but the heart and the will and the mind to find a way to succeed at all costs, and then to see them do it is amazing. And we're seeing the truth of that come to life on screen. This is real. This is real heroics. I mean, it's one thing to play it. It's one thing to enjoy it on screen. It's another thing to know that these guys did this. These guys did this. There are real stakes here. When I started studying these characters, I read 3 books about both the character that I play and the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, these declassified documents in 2012. And I'm disappointed that I didn't know more about these characters and these stories already, that, we're not taught the lore of who these guys were in school. They're so heroic. And I think anytime you have these kind of protagonists that are historical but larger than life, they deserve to be seen in all their glory. The size and scope of what they were, their stature, deserves to be spread across that large screen, I think. So I think it's the only way to see this.